Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're learning how to make a round yoke dress. Our focus for today is on the neckline. So let's get started. Now I bought 4 yards of chiffon fabric, but I have 2 yards in 2 places. So the 4 yards is not all together, is what I'm trying to say. You could use crepe for this tutorial. So chiffon, the length of chiffon is always by 60 inches, yes, and then the width definitely is 72 since I have 2 yards here. So I'm gonna be folding now. Normally when you fold, this is how you fold, like you fold and make the edges to be equal, but for this dress we're going to be folding at an angle. Just watch me the way I'm folding. You fold it at an angle because we're trying to have a maxi dress that has a little bit of, flare, not so full, but just a little bit. So I'm trying to fold the dress properly. Yeah, so this is it. So don't forget, make sure you fold the dress at an angle like that. It's very important. Okay, so now on top here, which should be my shoulder line, you want to make sure it's more than your bust circumference, quarter of your bust circumference actually. Okay, so I'm gonna draw a straight line now. Okay, now this line is going to serve as my shoulder line. So this is my shoulder line. Okay, then next is the chest line, and like I always tell us from my previous tutorial, to get your chest line, it will be half of your armhole circumference. Okay, so this is my chest line, and because it's sleeveless, I don't want my boobs to be showing out. I always reduce it by about half an inch. So if the distance from my shoulder to chest line is 9, I could just do 8.5 because it's sleeveless, just trying to play safe. So I have my shoulder and chest line. That's all you need. That's all. You don't need the hip circumference. Then from the shoulder line, you want to confirm your length. So you could do a short dress, but I'm doing a long floor length dress. So this is the length. I have the length here. I'm also adding my seam allowance to it. Then from here, that's the shoulder line. I'll just mark the length of my dress round. So because the fabric is folded at an angle, the hem of the dress is not supposed to be straight. You're supposed to have like a curve. Okay, you're going to have a curve. So I'm just trying to do that. So please pardon me if you cannot see my markings correctly, or let me say clearly, but at least you have an idea of what I'm trying to say. I didn't want to use paper, it's gonna be stressful. Okay, so that's the hemline. Now on the shoulder line, I'm marking half of my across back, or what we call shoulder measurement, on the shoulder and chest line. And then I'm going to connect them together. That'll be later anyway. Yeah. Then still on the chest line, I'm going to mark quarter of my bust plus 1 inch for seam allowance. If you want some ease, you could add half inch to quarter of your bust circumference measurement. Okay. It depends on what you want. So I'm going to connect this all the way down. So like I always say, always make sure you use your pattern drafting tools. Stop using your hands to draw lines. So I'm going to use my ruler. You can see that the line is tapering off to the M line. Okay, from the busts. Then I'll just use my pattern master to complete the length, since the length is longer than my ruler. Okay, so I think the lines are not very visible. I'll just use my chalk to make it more visible. Okay, yeah, I think this is better. At least we can see the lines now. Yeah. So next thing is to mark the neckline. So for this, I'm marking 3.5 inch for my neck width. The neck depth, I'm doing, depends on you. You could do 3.5, you could do 4. Actually depends, but it has to be wide enough for your head to pass through. Then with my French curve, I'm going to create the neckline. Like I always say, stop drawing with your hands, please. Use the necessary tool. This is my French curve, so you could just draw it. Okay, and then what am I supposed to do next? Okay, now I want to link the shoulder and the chest line. Okay, yes, like this. So it is from here we're going to create the armhole. And now I'm going to mark the width of the yoke from the neckline. So I'm doing 2.5 inch. Okay, you can make it smaller, but I think if it's wider than 2.5, it will be getting into your across back measurement. So I'm just doing 2.5. Okay, all right, so I'm just connecting it. I want the yoke to be visible. So this is my yoke. Okay, now we are going to create the armhole. Okay, now the normal armhole is supposed to be from here. I think I've forgotten one very important detail. Yeah, the shoulder slants. I also have done that. So from the shoulder line, I'll just go down by 1 inch. Okay, then I will link that to the neckline. I was supposed to do that before marking the yoke, but it doesn't matter anyway. At least we can see the shoulder slant. You can see the slant. Yes. Okay. So let's go back to the armhole gist. Yeah, this is how to place your curve to draw your normal armhole. But for this dress, the armhole is not starting from the shoulder. It's starting from, around the neckline. Like this. You can bring yours, you can take it lower than this if you want to. But I don't want to expose too much flesh. So I'm just stopping here. You could take the curve downward. So you can see where the armhole terminates here, not at the shoulder. I hope I'm making sense. Okay, so this is the yoke. Now, if we cut the dress and the yoke out now, there is no seam allowance, for joining it back. So what I'll do now is I have placed a paper under the fabric. I'm tracing out the yoke. Okay, because I actually want to use another fabric to, make the yoke. So I'm tracing out the yoke. Now, after tracing out the yoke, I can now mark my seam allowance, on the fabric. You understand? I don't know whether I'm making sense. I guess so. So I'm tracing out on my tracing wheel just the yoke pattern. Just the yoke pattern. Okay. So, yeah. I know we can't see anything, so I'm just tracing now with my marker. Okay, so that's the function of your tracing wheel. It helps you to transfer markings or a pattern or a design to a piece of paper. You don't need to start drafting all over again. So this is it. So this is my center front unfold. Okay, then you want to just add, when you're transferring the fabric, you want to just add 1/2 inch seam allowance round except the center front, which is unfold. Okay. Okay, so this is the yoke. I'm just cutting out. So don't forget, you're cutting it on fold, and then don't make a mistake of misplacing the pattern where you have the fold and the shoulder stand. They look similar, so make sure you label it so that you don't mix them up together. So this is the collar. Now I have cut out. Okay, now before cutting out the yoke, what I did was to add seam allowance to the main dress. Okay, so this is the front. Now this dress, I added zipper to my own. This is the yoke. Okay, I added zipper to my dress because I normally carry big hairstyles, so I want the opening to be wide enough for my head to pass through, and I'm adding 1 inch zipper allowance to the back. This is the fabric. Okay, I'm going to place the fabric on fold now, like so, the same way. Then I'll add 1 inch zipper allowance and use the front to cut the back. But if you're not carrying big hairstyles like me, you can actually use the front to cut out the back without zipper allowance, and this dress, the neck will still pass through your head. Okay, I hope that made sense. Yeah, so same for the collar. I've cut out my collar and I've added on my seam allowance. This is the front unfold, my 1/2 inch seam allowance round, and I'm using the fabric also as the lining. Okay, so I have 2 pieces, one for fabric, one for lining. Then if you're adding zipper to your dress like my own, you have to add 1 inch zipper allowance to the back collar. Can you see? But if you're making front and back the same thing, you don't need to add zipper allowance. So for the back, I also have 4 pieces, 2 serving as lining, 2 serving as fabric for the back collar. So like I said, zipper is optional. So those are the 2 back pieces, lining, the 2 back pieces, fabric. Okay, then you should also add interfacing, could be gum stay or paper stay, to give your collar some form of stability. Yeah, so I've added my paper stay to the fabric. Okay, this is the lining. All right, so you can see I'm placing the front and back together and joining it at the shoulder with 1/2 inch. Same thing with the lining. Okay, so here we are. I've sewn it together. Now I'm placing the lining on the fabric like this, and then I'll just sew the inner circle with 1/2 inch like this. Alright guys, I've done that. So this is my yoke. It's ready. Now let's go on to the dress. It's so super easy. For the dress, I'm going to be joining the front and back together at the side seams. So I'm just trying to arrange my pieces together. Yeah, these are the 2 back pieces. I'm joining them at the side with the front 1 inch side seam allowance. Okay, so I've done that already. Now I'm going to open up the dress. The armhole is looking bare with the edges of the fabric looking all rough. So I'm going to use my bias tape to tape the armhole. This is my bias tape. I'll just tape it round on both sides. Then same thing for the hemline. I'm going to use my bias tape to tape it round. So let me do that. Okay, so our dress is gradually coming out. Now I'm going to fold the front into 2. Now I just quickly ironed my collar. I'll come back to that. I'll fold my front into 2 like this and then create a notch. This will help me locate the center of my dress. Okay, then this is my collar. I have pressed in the seam allowances 1/2 inch on both on the fabric and the lining. You know, I've ironed it. Is safer that way. Then what else? Yeah, that's all. So I'm just gonna get a biro or a chalk to also mark the center front on the yoke like that. So I'll just match it together with the center of the dress, center front actually. I pin it together with my tailor's pin. Please make sure you use pins so that you don't have unnecessary pleats or ease and all that. Then for the back, I'm going to link the back of the yoke where you have the zipper allowance and the dress, also the back. I'm going to pin it together. That pinning is very essential so that you don't have unnecessary stretches here and there. Okay, so I'm just going to pin it together. Same thing on the other side. So I'm just pinning the other side of the zipper on the fabric and the yoke together. Then I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and then sew. Okay, here. So take note, the armhole is very much opened there. Now I'm going to go ahead now. The top part, I'm going to sew 1/2 inch round. Now I always prefer to start from the center front, you know, from here. So you start from the center, move towards the left, center, move towards the right. It's safer that way. So yeah, I'm done. The last thing will be to join the 2 back pieces together. Then I'll just leave about 7-8 inches for zipper allowance. Like I said, I normally carry big hairstyles, so I need enough opening for my hair to pass through. Else, you could use the front and back together, the same thing without zipper allowance. So I'll just fix my zip and show us the final outcome. This is the dress. Lovely, isn't it? Yeah, so this is so super easy to make. I'll be expecting us to, you know, come up with our own designs too. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up and leave your comments. Thank you and bye.